Hey everybody, it's Chris. Welcome back. Today we're playing more modern. It is a blue-red blue moon control deck. So if you're unfamiliar with it, the strategy, it's basically a blue-red control deck which uses blood moons to sort of occasionally cheese out multicolored opponents and steal games. But is effectively a blue-red control deck. So your win conditions are like Thing in the Ice or Jace, and then you have loads of flexible interactive spells. Removal, card draw, card selection, counter spells, the usual stuff. A bit of spice in the list is we've got 2 Mystic Sanctuaries, which is, I believe, going to become fairly ubiquitous amongst modern blue decks. We've got 3 Archmage's Charm, which is a nice one. And in the sideboard, we've got a Ral. This is not my list. My friend Owen just... who doesn't know I'm recording this video, actually, so I should probably tell him. My friend Owen just top-4'd the... so our sort of regional tournament organiser is called Axion, and he just top-4'd a medium-sized Axion event with this. I haven't spoken to him about it, so this will probably come as a surprise to him. But yeah, he did seemingly very well with it. And he is a very good blue player in Modern and has been tweaking Blue Moon for like a year, so I would trust his list to be about right. So we're going to see how we do. Looking forward to this. It's my sort of deck. I love a Snapcaster Cryptic Lightning Bolt deck. That is kind of, well, those are 3 of my favourite cards. But to be honest, if you don't like those cards, then you probably shouldn't watch this channel. We play loads of all of them. If your favourite card is like Bloodghast, this isn't for you. Turn back now. Who have we got? This is where we die to infinite Bloodghasts, isn't it? Now I haven't exactly slagged it off, but it's really not my bag. Okay. We are on the draw. 1 lander with a Serum Visions. I think that's good enough. Force of Negation is particularly good in your opener, because Modern is a fairly volatile format. People can do busted stuff on early turns, and that should give us some measure of insurance. Hey, fun for all the family. Our hand definitely could be worse against them, though. We got lucky. I'm going to fetch basic island so that I can use my scries properly. We hit the land. We probably just want to draw all of these. In what order? This order. So, we're not sure what version of Tron we're up against yet. Okay, now we are. So, if this is a chalice, we will be dealing with it. Yep. Matter Shaper is an annoying one because we haven't yet got a lightning bolt. We do not have the Delve Fuel to cast Magmatic Sinkhole at any rate, so I'm just going to play this and pass. So that was my way of saying that I'm not shocking for Steam Vents. Sorry, that was the decision point there. So we take 3, not a problem. The good news is our main deck Blood Moons are good in this matchup. The bad news is I just wasted my turn. I now have to decide whether to see. I want to cast Serum Visions. I also need red mana. but I don't want to shock myself unnecessarily because they are basically a beatdown deck. But I think I've talked myself into it, so I'm going to shock myself and Serum again, because you really can't Serum with the fetch land just sat there. It's a good way to lose. Put that on top. And now if they don't do anything again, so we can't use our Logic Knot, then end step we've got 4 Delve plus 2 mana to sinkhole that stupid thing. Okay, they've got full Tron. Okay. Yep, and they've still got access to 4 mana. Let's see what they get. Liquid Metal Coating, so we will be countering that. Blue, blue, 1, 2, 3. It does, however, mean that my Sinkhole to kill the Khan plan is less good, which is why I... Don't be another one. This is like a chalice. Well, my hand contains no 1s right now. We've got 2 Abrades in the deck. I think I'm willing to let that go. Okay. Oh yeah, we knew about the Archmage's Charm. I'm an idiot. So, what do I want to do? Pass for now. They presumably have to try to lattice lock me this turn. Yeah, we take it. I'm not happy with just taking these in, like these incidental hits are really adding up now. Like a Reality Smasher is terrifying now. But we have to, the way the cards in our hands have lined up, it's being dictated that we've kind of had to hold up mana. Pardon me. Okay. Mystic Forge, eh? Well, that's one we've got to counter. This feels sacrilegious, pitching a snap, but and they've floated a little bit of mana. That shuts off a braid, which is how we deal with chalice, so that's a bit more of an unpleasant one. So at present, the Khan upticking doesn't do anything unless they want to randomly blow up their own chalice, which I think would be wrong. Going to 4 feels mighty dodgy. Means we're dead to a smasher off the top at any time. I'm going to let that resolve. Then I'm going to sinkhole it if I need to. They presumably have to go for the lattice lock at some point. Okay, now we just need to kill the matter reshaper or provide a blocker or something. There's a blocker. I forgot Lattice did this. Remand, not so good. Well, I think I am literally going to 1 because I think I need to snap the Archmage's Charm to get some gas. So this feels dodgy. We don't have any life gain either in this deck. Hang on. Why can't I alternate cast that? I'll just remand it then to cycle my remand, but this is looking mopey. I don't really understand the interaction between Force of Negation and Mycosynth Lattice. Oh, everything's colourless, got you. Oh, we drew another 2-drop, fantastic. Okay, we lost. Let's try again. So I want my 3rd Blood Moon, I think. Because they don't have that many copies of Basic Wastes. So I want Sinkhole as an answer to Planeswalkers, probably. What does Ral do? Card advantage. Engineered Explosives is good. Logic Knot is bad. Spell Snare is medium. Probably want Keranos. and Ral to go big, to match them because they go big. Our removal's really awkward. I think our best removal in the matchup is probably Thing in the Ice. As weird as that might sound. That's an easy mulligan. That's far better. We're going to put one Tarn away. Be interesting to see if they have like a, what's it called? Expedition map, whether they'll use it for wastes or not. Okay, they're passing. I'm just going to opt. Good. All's going according to plan so far. A braid is another nice one. It protects me against quite a lot of their busted stuff. So I'm hoping their turn 2 is like tap out for a chalice. Oh sure, I'll spell snare that. And then we land Blood Moon and we probably just win. Go. Don't have a waste in hand. I feel like that's the sort of thing that's going to get me. Basic island off the top, please, deck. Nope. I don't think backup Blood Moon is better than having a braid or bolt. Oh, that's a good one. What a draw that is. Yeah, I don't want to waste my counterspell on that. I'm wondering if I should have braid it. They'll sack it and draw, but... And then I'll lose these. I think it's fine. Still get rid of it. Still having a braid in the graveyard, which is a useful card. I'm not going to cast that now. I'm going to keep my Cryptic available. I didn't mean to F6. Please don't cast anything. Okay, that was lucky. That's another good draw. We can start to chain them together now. We just really need a win con. We really need a Thing in the Ice. Big Planeswalker, I guess. Well, we're starting to get a little bit of a plan together because we've picked up 2 bolts now. We're like a Snapcaster Mage and a couple of attacks away from being in quite good shape. Force is a nice one, makes me feel safe. So I would have liked to have been able to hold up double blue for Force, but being able to alternate cast Force plus start flipping my thing is enough of an incentive. There we go. So we've got another bolt on the top of the deck, I believe. So I'm just going to start attacking them. So they go to 11, they go to 4. And now we have to just kill them in one turn. I have dropped my shields, but they've just cast 2 Ugins in a row. They can't have any more. They usually play 2, don't they? Yeah, good. So the sideboard plan felt fine. Do I want that negate? Or a third force? I think there was a force. No, there isn't a third force in the sideboard. Maybe I want the negate over the Archmage's Charm just because it's easier to cast under a Blood Moon. Sun stinks. The good things about this hand are that we're not too soft to Chalice. We can put the Ral back. I don't like it. We're going to play the Sanctuary tapped on turn 1. As much as I don't like them knowing we've got nothing going on, that's fine. It's much less scary than Tron Piece map. I clicked the wrong land. That was bad. That was really bad. This tap land is going to bite me. Chalice. Yep. Well, we're not too bad to Chalice, so it could be worse. Oh. Well, there's a thing for us to do. I really am annoyed at myself for that Mystic Sanctuary goof. Yeah, a Braid is nice. It lets me use my mana next turn. Don't be thought not. Sulk. Sulk, pout, whinge. They're going to take my Braid. And I'm going to sulk, pout and whinge. I hope I draw an untapped blue source off the top. I think almost all, like, maybe there's like maybe 1 mountain in the deck or 2. Almost all the lands are blue sources. And they're almost all untapped as well. I think the other Mystic Sanctuary would be the only other tap land. I wonder what they're going to take. One other thing about the Chalice of the Void is it's a counter rather than you can't cast, so I can still cast 1-drops into it to flip my thing in an emergency, which is suboptimal, but it could happen. Okay, so having drawn that, the plan is just to abrade the chalice at some point this turn, but obviously I have to posture as if I've drawn exactly Force of Negation. Those blast zones are quite annoying. Smasher. Balls. This is a big attack. Going down to 10. This is not very good. Land. So I'd go to 1, which is again not very good. But I think it's the best I can do. I think I'm going to cast Opt now, looking for a land though. I don't think I want to top either of those. There we go. Just had to figure out how to decline. So I think I'm supposed to snap Opt now. And by now I mean at the end of their turn. Because I get the snap back when I flip the thing, which is quite a sweet little interaction. So it's basically a free card, because I've got to take all this anyway. Or what's my other option? To try to kill the Thought Knot. I'll go to 1, it's fine. Obviously that does leave me very vulnerable to Walking Ballista, but I'm assuming they only play 1. It's a bold attack from opponent, because if I had 2 things, shit would have got eaten. This blast zone's really threatening, actually. Wonder what they're caverning. Worm, you say? Wonder why they're pausing. I do quite enjoy how quickly Thing in the Ices turn the corner. I've got to decide now whether I'm going to try and get aggressive or not. So that's made me think now, do I want to, rather than using the Cryptic to manage stuff, do I want to use the thing, this one, now, And then during combat on their turn, I can flip the first one. I have really screwed up. You remember I was just saying that Blast Zone is threatening? Do you remember that when I noticed it and then played into it like some kind of an idiot child? This is where they pop the Blast Zone in response, and we lose the game. However, I do have the Bolt, so I can still not lose the game this turn. But we're going to lose 2 Thing in the Ices, which is horrible, and we're probably going to lose the game as a result. But we're not just dead. Don't know what opponent is wondering. I guess they're deciding how bad this trigger resolving is. Oh, I feel like I've punted this game. Draw a card. Good draw. Okay. So they've left themselves in a position where they can't activate the Blast Zone. And I'm now wondering whether I can kill them this turn. And if I could, it probably involved using the Bolt at their face. So I may have just fucked that up as well. Ah, that too. That's also a thing. GG's. Ugh. Probably made 15 mistakes that game. Piss. Okay. Well, time to stop licking my I'm stupid wounds and to try and play properly. I think this hand is above the bar. I really hope opponent's name is slightly more tasteful than it currently appears. I hope they're from like a different, a non-English speaking country, and the rude thing I'm thinking of is of no consequence to them. Seems unlikely I'm going to have to abrade over anything, but I might as well give myself the choice. Also, Scalding Tarn Go is like, could be anything. It could be Burn, it could be one of the blue-based artifacty Ursery decks, it could be a control deck. It looks to be blue-white or Jeskai control, I guess, but it could still be Urza. The truth is we haven't got a clue. Yeah, probably blue-white control. Well, I imagine our blue-white matchup's fine. I'm going to just pass holding up Force and go for an Archmage's Charm to draw 2 in their end step. Yeah, this is just blue-white control, isn't it? We're passing. Okay. Now we have free reign on our turn to resolve all the Jace the Mind Sculptors that aren't in our hand. I'm going to play that because it slightly conceals our Cryptic. If I'd played the Steam Vents shocking myself, that would be like a, hello, I have a 4-drop signal. And we like to keep our secrets. We listen to Gandalf on this channel. So their next draw step is likely that Force. Come on, opponent, you should play a Jace. The crazy thing is, would we let it resolve and then try to bolt it? Not really, because they might plus it. I wish we were a bit better equipped to punish the opponent. As in, we had a creature, or a planeswalker, or a blood moon. Any of the above would be good. So we now know about the Force of Negation, which makes going for stuff on our turn a little bit risky. I'm going with this one because it's clunkier. They're at least representing something like Mana Leak or Remand. Logic not for 1 or 2. Well, just 1. And if it is Logic not for 1, I'm going to feel like a fool for not using the Force, but yeah, 2-mana counters are less and less popular these days. So we can put the Cryptic back into our hand at any time, which is quite nice, because we can get a Mystic Sanctuary, which will come in untapped. Put it on the top, then opt into it. It might be helpful. So I'm not going to use opt now, I'd probably mistime that. So I'm going to draw the Cryptic and then I'm going to opt looking for a land, because you always want lands in control mirrors. There it is. Yeah, one way to lose Counter Wars, and I suspect there will be some, is to leave yourself short on mana by being greedy with scries and thinking, oh, I want this spell, I want this spell. Generally you want to hit like up to your 10th, 11th, 12th land drop. Which might sound a lot, but sometimes you get punished just for missing your like 4th or 5th land drop. Okay, let's see what opponent does. I don't know if they can cast that. So its miracle is what exactly? White and 2x. So they're going for it. So I'm going to try to exile it because I'm figuring they don't have many win conditions. And putting this in the exile zone protects it from Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah. So that's the result. We're happy with that. I don't think they considered that. Just based on... That just seems like a really bad choice. I'm not even really sure I want this, but I think I do. They don't play anything non-threatening that's a creature. Like, Snapcaster's threatening in as much as it gives them the chance to use their good spells again, but we're not scared of a 2-1 on its own. We've got 0/4s and lightning bolts. I'm assuming they're just passing the turn, yeah. Fantastic draw. Remand is amazing in Counter Wars. If you are unfamiliar, one of the better moves you can make in a Counter War is if they use something that counters and draws, like a Cryptic or Remand of their own, and you remand the spell that they tried to counter draw, you basically... you kind of get everything. Please don't have Spell Snare. That's wicked. They probably have 4 Path to Exiles in hand, so we need to get ready for that. Literally 4. If it's any less, I'll be furious. I think we just have to let that go. That was always not going to be long for this world. And pulling ahead on mana is great. Another threat, please. That counts. Although they do have that Flooded Strand. Maybe I need to try and trick them into cracking it. They've got no more Hallowed Fountains though, so it's going to get a basic. They probably don't care about that. In fact, I'll be siding them out for this matchup. But... ooh! I bet they regret not using their Flooded Strand. My next thing in the ice might actually live. This is an interesting game now. It's time to bolt them because I might draw a Snapcaster Mage, and the most likely thing is that I want to burn them out without a thing in the ice. Ah, say no more. That is going to be awfully hard for them to path. I presume on my end step they'll go for it. As in the same move they made last turn. So we'll do this because if they counter it by pitching something to force a negation, we're kind of happy. Yeah. See, it's better for me than they have a Teferi in hand, that's for sure. So that comes back to my hand and they draw. Now they can fetch a basic plains, which they were stupid not to the first time. And they didn't anyway, because they're greedy. So we are running low on win cons now. If they play a Teferi, let's say they pitched one because they had a backup, I will feel very stupid about using the first lightning bolt, because 2 bolts is that's more than fine trade for a card that strong. Here it is. Yeah. This sucks. So that's obviously great. We can bolt snap bolt with a cryptic up, which I think is what we're going to do with their untap on the stack at the end of their turn. Maybe they're thinking of using field, I don't know. A little pause from them there. And they've got 1 cryptic up. This is a good sequence for me, I think. So their hand contains 1 Teferi and nothing else we know about, I believe. Presumably they're going to put a cryptic back, which I don't even think is correct. I literally think Force of Negation costing 1 less is probably better. Although we are getting to the stage now where we both have a lot of mana. Well, one thing that is obvious is that they don't have basic planes currently. So I can cast Blood Moon. That was an incorrect tap. I should have tapped anything other than 2 basic islands for that. This kind of forces them to Field of Ruin, which means they shuffle away that cryptic they just topped. So we're making their draw step worse, or possibly worse. They might just draw it again anyway, because that's how Modo works. If any of you ever played Modo before, you'll be aware that the shuffler is Famously humorous. But yeah, that was fucking awful for me to tap 2 islands then. What was I thinking? Got away with it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands for opponent. And their coloured mana situation is kind of dodgy. I quite like the idea of Snap remanding the Teferi. Even though we've got... Actually, Snap Cryptic makes more sense. Yeah. Spell Snare always hurts. Spell Snare always hurts. That's sad, that. Okay, Tefs, what you doing? Up, because up is always correct, basically. Yeah, we don't have a single card in our deck that's anything like as good as Teferi, unfortunately. Thing will have to do. We're not very close to flipping it either, which is... That's flipping sad. And obviously, if you're unfamiliar with children using flipping as a mild cuss in the UK, I don't think that's a thing in other countries. There's a very good TV comedy called The It Crowd. There's a character in that called Moss who says flipping a lot, and mother flipping he's particularly fond of. Okay, let's have a cantrip. Not very good, is it? That's not very good. We're going to hold it and pretend we've got stuff going on. Although, if we had stuff going on, they wouldn't have a Teferi ticking up close to ulting. This situation is a little bit sad. That Spell Snare has completely crushed me. We'd have been in such good shape if that Spell Snare didn't exist. This has been a long-ass game one as well. Like, opponents used half their clock and we've used a third of ours. Cantrip. Good. I'm hoping we can use our whole, like, take 4 counters off in one go. Crush the Teferi sort of thing. Bolt you. Bolt you. Yeah, we have to go for the high upside play because we're too far behind. Abrade this. It flips. We have a 7-8 or whatever it is. 7-6, something huge. We can't beat a single piece of interaction. Like, we can't beat a removal spell, we can't beat a blocker. Well, I'm optimistic that we've been allowed to attack. Yeah, that's what I thought. Have we any left? No. Oh, and I just lost my snap. Oh, I'm very close to packing this game in. Can we just miraculously draw the Snapcaster anyway, please, Modo? Oh. Oh, this is bad timing. They might be able to force it. But then they've got so much mana that forces basically, like, paying the mana doesn't matter. What am I talking about? We have nothing going on, so we've got to try again. So I guess we just want to go big. We don't want Blood Moons. Additional Spell Snare, 2 Dispels and a Negate, all excellent. Trim a couple bolts. Trim both the braids. I think I want the bolts. They're good against Planeswalkers. Yeah, we'll do that. I doubt their sideboard is as good as ours. We decided like a huge upgrade. 4 more cheap counterspells. 2 big threats. Got rid of some trash. Yeah. Better. We don't care about our life total, and we do want to leave lands in the deck, so I won't be shuffling end of turn. Sorry, fetching end of turn. We'll be leaving that uncracked. Same goes for this one, most likely. Pardon me. I've had a long day today. Started work at 8 AM. And it is now 9 PM. Land. Balls. Missing lands is really bad. We might get punished for that. It's annoying that we don't even have like an opt to dig with. Punished. Didn't deserve that, really. Going to discard is so bad. Pardon me. That's terrifying. I'm going to try to logic knot that and hope they don't have Dispel, or I'm hoping that they've left that up for exactly Spell Snare and that this logic knot has a CMC of 4 so they can't Spell Snare it. That's what I'm hoping. But if they've got Spell Pierce or Dispel, we're fucked. Well, good job not being fucked, Chris. Land. Good. It's very comforting. Ooh. Looks like they're going to field over in my steam vents and they've changed their mind. We're not fetching because we want to leave lands in the deck. We will shock, not that we've got anything to shock for, but we might end up in some world where we want to cast like Remand and Negate, maybe. We also have to keep in mind that we believe they've got a spell snare. I think. We haven't seen it, but it sort of smelled like one. There's the spell snare. We try again now. See if this works. It did! Good. That was quite good sequencing. I'm quite pleased with myself. Good draw. Okay. Not feeling too bad now. We've got like good options. I would love a 5th land, obviously. Then we could go for like a snap Archmage's Charm end of turn to start some pressure. They have no good options. I suspect in that scenario where you have no good options, you don't like. Is it worth using a resource to get an opt, or should you just get a basic island? I think opponent at this point is just playing with their new toys and doesn't have a clue. So their hand is opt and they have a spell snare on top. So I'm going to try and pick a fight with the Snapcaster Mage so that I can attempt to resolve this thing. Not sure what to make of the timing of that. Maybe they decided they wanted to look for a sorcery speed threat. Well, I want to land. That ain't good. That ain't good. Oh dear. Okay, I think I'm at peace with that. So they're going to just opt again. One on top, okay. So they obviously liked it. Okay. Suit yourself. My plan is to, because I've got 3 snapcasters, I don't think they're all going to do anything with our mana restrictions. I'm going to play one as an attempted blocker. They should hopefully spell snare it, because you tend to just fire off spell snares without thinking. I know I do. And then we can try to resolve the thing in the ice that we actually care about. Jace? Perfect. You should brainstorm, opponent. I don't have a lightning bolt. I don't even know what lightning bolt is. I'll be impressed if they plus. I think plussing is better. Minus on your own snap would also be a big boy play. So they've plussed on themselves, very good. Very cunning. I wish we had more red mana. I'm wondering if I've fetched incorrectly earlier. The plan is to let this snapcaster through, try to snap, opt, attack the Jace, bolt the Jace, etc. Oh, Gideon, you bitch. Opponent is a bitch. Did they put... I can't remember if they just drew the Force of Negation or not. I think they've brainstormed since, so they may or may not have it in hand. Okay, good. I'm absolutely certain that they should not attack with their Snapcaster. Oh yeah, they didn't brainstorm last time, did they? They plussed. I'm talking shit. Oh. I was going to say one nice thing they could make, one nice mistake they could make would be to field me and let me have red mana. This is good. So in their upkeep, I'm going to snap bolt the Jace. Oh, I mistapped. I'm the thickest person in the world. Sorry, viewers. That was disastrous. That seems like really bad play from the opponent, because if I have a second mountain, I can really get them. I mean, I don't, of course, but like... If I did have a second mountain, we could have then cast the thing I'd incorrectly given flashback to. So I don't know why they would do that exactly that moment. That was such horrendous play. What am I doing? Oh, they've got 5 minutes on the clock. I'm not sure what happens on Modo. Like, if they're a game up when they time out, do they win or do I win because they timed out? I don't really know. Cryptic counter tap, I assume. Let's get that thing dead. No way. Wow. Can't. Well, the good news is they're out of Mystic Sanctuaries, I assume. I've not seen any lists playing 4. Wow! What do I know? Good. So their draw step is Cryptic. They probably brainstorm. They might just plus to get out of attack range in case their Cryptic doesn't resolve. They did indeed. They plussed on me. What did they do? Bottom, okay. So, well, the good news is we can counter their Cryptic and put Jace down to some small amount. If I'm them, I reckon you just let it go to 1. No problem, yeah. I think it seems correct. And we can reasonably assume one of their cards is still a Cryptic. Well, that could be a good draw. Combat, please. I'll try this first. This is a large logic knot. Okay, let logic not resolve, don't pay, counter draw, and hope. If their last card isn't a counter spell, we're good. Are you kidding me? This opponent is lucky as fuck. The good news is I don't think they're killing me in 2 minutes. And I'm not conceding. This isn't a concession stream. Let the Oct resolve. Now they've drawn a Cryptic. They'll probably make the same play they did last time of tap, bounce, Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. Opponent's digging. Jace down. Hopefully. Finally. See, now this is a good time for a Mystic Sanctuary, isn't it? Because we've got, like, total information. So if they play a Gideon, we get a burn spell. If they play a whatever, you know. Okay, so we just put the bolt back on top. And we know it's going to resolve. Worst case scenario is they get a token. We're now very far ahead in this game, but we're not going to have time to win a game 3. But still, it's nice to know that despite the universe wanting the opponent to win, we are going to win. I'm going to draw 2. Top is fine. I'm just going to... Probably shouldn't have played the land first. I'm just going to cast Jace so they know they're getting battered. They did know they were getting battered. Good. Nothing's changed. And now it's a draw. I'm certain if they time out, we win. What's gone wrong here? Might have been correct to wait until after you've got the thing out. Well, we're definitely not short of lands this game. Go. We're nice and far ahead, so hooray! Weird game. Weird game. Still, I guess now we can dream of hitting a reasonable result. This deck does not close games very quickly. I think, unless you have a thing, of course, in which case it's fine. But it feels kind of sluggish at turning corners. Sorry about the lack of opponents. Not something I can really do a lot about. I can try to fill the intervening time with hilarious small talk and witty anecdotes, but I don't really have any. I've had quite a typical week, really. For those who are not British, you may not be aware of the delights of a West of England accent. They talk a bit like this, and they say things like, I've got a field of pigs and 14 hens. And I've been working with a guy with an accent like that who's like 50 odd years old and completely bonkers, and that's probably been the highlight of my week, has been old Willie. He's been fantastic fun. That's about the best story I've got for you. Yeah. Get rid of one of these. Hope the other one doesn't die. Gonna fetch the steam vents and serum visions. Looking for a third land and another spell. Well, we found the spell. So the plan obviously is to cast Thing next turn and then spells thereafter. It's a very good plan, very cunning, very clever. Okay, well the plan is to kill that now. I think. Nah. We'll take a turn off. This is where their turn is Amulet, 2 bounce lands, and an Azusa, and some things that combine to kill me, isn't it? But we'll see. If they don't have an Amulet, I feel safe. So they've obviously got a 3-drop, which I assume must be Azusa. I don't think they play any others. Okay. So we're kind of fucked for next turn. Okay. They're presumably just looking for a bounce land now. Or maybe they need like a T-West to get their Titan, but they can't transmute a T-West. They wanted the Amulet, okay. That is a good one to know about. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. They've got no more lands in hand. That is noteworthy. Bit scared. Part of me feels like I should bolt those 2 things, but part of me feels like they're now incidental. I'm better off double bolting a Titan. I'm really not sure. Like, that doesn't do anything without lands. Where did that come from? They didn't have that last turn. Just trying to make sure I don't get tightened this turn. So I'm trying to, because obviously they're about to pick up a land, I'm trying to stop their ability to, to replay said land. I guess they pick up the Radiant Fountain? No, they pick that up, okay. Back up Azusa, okay. Makes some sense. Pray for no Titans. They've got one card in hand. They'd have to have a bonkers draw for it to be the Titan. But that's, you know, that's how life works, isn't it? Pact. Go. I'll play out one turn. They've had like a reasonable hand, to say the least. Gets what, +2/+0 and haste? And vigilance. Okay. Yeah, because then they get the double striker. Okay. So, dispels answer the pacts. Spell snares answer nothing, so that's an upgrade. Blood Moon, obviously excellent. Probably EE to try and hit a scenario where they have like a tribe scout and a, what's it called, amulet. Might be wrong to cut the forces, but that's what I'm doing. Sleepy now. Might end the video after this game because it's already quite long. It's about an hour and a half already, and there is a non-zero chance that I don't finish the league tonight because I am tired, and I'll probably play even worse, and we don't want that, do we? No, that's you lot. No, we don't. That's what you all sound like. I have no idea. I wonder what opponent's thinking about. Oh, I should have brought in Anger of the Gods. I forgot about Field of the Dead. Engineered Explosives helps a little bit, and obviously the Blood Moons are the main plan, but Anger of the Gods would have been probably an upgrade on Jace and Archmage's Charm, maybe. Excuse me. I would. Really, we just want a Blood Moon, don't we? I will settle for this. I'll put that on the bottom. And I guess I'll shock because I would like to bolt a Tribe Scout, untap and play a thing. Basically. Obviously, if they have an amulet instead, I'm going to look like a twat, but they don't, so I look like a non-twat. Their turn 2 should be significantly less scary than last time. Okay, maybe that's their land for the turn and they pick the forest up, something like that. A fetch. They're playing a fetch. Why are there fetches in this deck? There's not normally any. Player is either on like a super up-to-date version that I just haven't seen, or they're wrong, I guess. Probably looking for an amulet. Okay. Go ahead. Need the remand to draw us into something useful, something other than another basic island or a dispel. Sweet. Happy to get to use my dispel productively. Should stop them from playing in Azusa and going off. Well, 2 remands is... Interestingly, remand sort of stacks kind of well. If you couldn't guess, I'm using them on literally anything. 3rd attempt. Fine. You can have it. We know most of their hand isn't very good. That's quite good. Can I have a Cryptic, please, deck? Or a Blood Moon? Deal. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm terrified. Give me a 7/8, please. And a you know, a non-land would be nice. Ooh, very nice. Looks like Mystic Sanctuary time. If you ask me, I think they're locked. I think we've won this game. Because we can just Cryptic their next 2 things whilst killing them. That was silly of them, wasn't it? Why would they do that? Why would they let me draw all these Cryptics? another great draw. Because it's another cryptic command. The nice thing is they don't know about our other one, so we can cryptic the Titan and they'll just concede on the spot, I would imagine. Okay, good. Last game. So yeah, as we discussed, I think I want Angers over, what did I say? Jason, one Archmage's Charm. Seems reasonable. Sinkhole might be bad. It can't answer a Titan. It's just a shit bolt, basically. Maybe I should have cut that as well. Is this hand good enough? On the draw? No. Probably. Just need to slow them down. Okay. Scary. Very scary. Tech. They don't have to pay life. That's smart. That's just good deck building. Just good deck building. Oh, you're shitting me. Basic Mountain. That is literally the last land in the deck we want to draw. I suppose it's better than Mystic Sanctuary right now because we do not want to tap land, but it's awkward. Best case scenario, they packed for an Azusa. We bolt the Azusa with the first untapped trigger on the stack, and then we play Blood Moon and they can't pay for their pact. Wouldn't that be nice? Doesn't seem to be happening. Very sad. Okay. Forest is a clever one because there is no trigger. But also maybe their only other land, it appears to, well, they can't do lands in combat, so let's kill this. Play my card that might win the game. Go. Let's find out if we win or not. Blood Moon is a totally horrible thing. I do kind of hate using it, but at the same time, if anything, it's much fairer than what opponent's doing. They've got a weird hand, haven't they? Whoa. I'll probably take one. I'd rather keep my Snapcaster alive that I can beat down with it next turn. Pew pew. Basic Island. No. So now the plan has to be Snapcaster Bolt Azusa and then start 2-ing the opponent until they give up. Hopefully they just ship the turn. Ooh, shit. I think I can beat that. Couldn't have beaten it anyway. Non-creature spell, I take 6. Fuck. Vigilance and Reach. Wow. This is awful. So those two tag team, but I'll take 12 to cast them. No, I'm just locked. Fuck me. Oh, what an unpleasant way to lose. What a sideboard card. What a sideboard card. I got baited. Well, not baited. I couldn't have countered it anyway, but... Piss. Ugh. That feels bad. Oh well. There we are. I'm going to leave it there. I'm knackered, and that is an hour and 43 for you all to enjoy. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry about the poor-ish standard. I've definitely played worse on this channel, but I've also played better. And sorry, Owen, for disgracing your deck. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. See you all next time.